now it's time for the FIFA Pro Clubs podcast with special guest Savigma. If you've lost all your games playing FPC, listen to this podcast. If you've lost all your games playing FPC, listen to this podcast.
Hello and welcome to the makeshift FPC podcast with just me, Savigma, because I had been in charge of actually recording the original podcast with 4 members, which included Wes, it included Limited NP, and also Kieran. So I didn't record their voices, basically. So yeah, that's on me. However, that's okay because I'm doing overtime now to make up for it. So I literally have to cover everything, so bear with me as we run through this fun little podcast audio. So I'm not going to go through as much detail as was previously discussed in the messed up audio podcast that we previously recorded. But nonetheless, I'll cover everything, all the basics, all the important stuff, and we'll get straight to it. So, obviously, the first week of FPC has just finished. So we've had 6 games played, not including cup matches. Some interesting results as well, some interesting positions in the table. So if we head over to the Prem first of all, then we can see the results and the table there. So we've got, at the top of the table, we've got Huddersfield Town with 16 points. So they've had 5 wins and 1 draw. So the manager is Taylor HTFC, who's obviously done superbly well. I mean, they don't concede many goals at all. I think they've conceded 1 goal a game, which is pretty impressive considering, 6 games. That's over half the teams in the Premiership, and they've managed to concede less than, exactly 1 goal a game. So that's quite impressive. 5 wins, 1 draw, no losses, undefeated, and only that 1 draw to their name. So 16 points, and just behind them in second is Southampton, whose the manager is Christian07. So they've managed similar but slightly different. They've managed 5 wins and the 1 loss. So no draws for them yet, just the 5 wins and the 1 loss. Almost sort of similar situation. They don't concede too many. They've conceded 8 in 6 games, which isn't as impressive as Huddersfield Town, but the attack is more or less the same as Huddersfield. So keep the defence tight. They can find themselves up for that number 1 spot where Huddersfield Town are currently situating. So third place we've got Everton, who is managed by Hellbound Brit. So 4 wins for them and 2 losses, no draws. So that puts them on 12 points, just 3 behind second, so 1 win away from second, and 4 points from first. So not a bad start for them either. Starting to go a little bit further away from the top 2 now is Liverpool, who have 10 points, which isn't bad at all, but could have done a little bit better last week. They got 3 wins, 1 draw, and 2 losses. Their manager's Ali X. So their goal difference is 2, so it's quite tight. If you look at the between 3rd and 7th really in the Prem, the goal difference is pretty tight. There's not much in it at all, apart from one of the teams which we'll get to in a second. But Arsenal, who are 5th, they have 2 wins, 1 draw, and 3 losses, which puts them on 7 points. That's managed by DP Sani. Then we got 6th place in the Premier League is Norwich City, with 2 wins, 1 draw, and 3 losses, and that is managed by Emperor Pete. 7th place Manchester United with 2 wins, 1 draw, and 3 losses. Pretty much between 5th and 7th is all identical. They're on 7 points as well. VP Aubameyang. The interesting thing with Manchester United is their goal difference. Despite having 7 points, which isn't terrible considering between 5th and 7th have 7 points, their goal difference is alarming. They've got 9 goals scored and 16 goals conceded, which is, when you look at how many points they've got exactly the same as 5th. So the goal difference needs a bit of work there. Then we've got in the relegation zone now, starting with Sunderland, who are 8th. 1 win, 2 draws and 3 losses, which they're managed by DRB Phoenix. 9th, we've got Tottenham Hotspur, who's managed by It's Noel 15. No wins for them just yet, but they've managed 3 draws and they have 3 losses. That puts them on 3 points. Then 10th, rock bottom of the league, is Queen's Park Rangers with no wins, 2 draws and 4 losses. So they're on 2 points. That's managed by Narcotic Joe. The one thing I would mention about QPR is, I believe, their manager, Narcotic Joe, has just taken over, I believe, on Thursday. So they've managed 2 draws in the 2 games that he's played. So, it's looking up for them. If they've managed 2 draws, I'm sure they can build on that now and climb up the table. So if we look at the team of the week for the Premiership in week 1, we've got, starting with the Any, it's Noel 15. The goalkeeper is SNPZX Miller X. The right back is Evs Turtle 5. The centre halves are Benjamin L97L and the basic Kante. Left back is Ezzy, which is just 3 letters, EZI. The DM is It's Rewind Whitey. The centre mids are Chomsky and Pasquet 10. The centre attack midfielder is Ben Paul Hansen. And the 2 strikers up top are Stampy Draven and Hellbound Brit. On the bench for the Premier League is the goalkeeper I17I Griffin. We've got the defender, team of the week, Shifty74. Defense midfielder is Adam HTFC. The attack midfielder on the bench is Tonic Dawson, and the striker is DP Sunny. So that's the team of the week for the Premiership. If we move on now to the Championship and we look at the table here, it's quite tight actually. We've got Chelsea, who've managed 4 wins with 1 draw and 1 loss. They're managed by PL Nesta 13 and are currently sitting on 13 points. Then we've got Leicester City with 4 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss as well. Their manager is Farah 23. And then 1 point below then is Shrewsbury Town with 12 points. Their manager is Mighty McMight. They've won 4 games, drawn none, and lost 2. In 4th place, we've got Leeds United, which is managed by ACM Nesta I13. They've managed 3 wins, 2 draws, and 1 loss, and that puts them on 11 points. 5th place is Blackburn Rovers with 3 wins and 3 losses, which is going to put them on 9 points. So they are 4 points away from automatic promotion. That's managed by Limited NP. Manchester City have 2 wins, 1 draw and 3 losses. That puts them on 7 points, and their manager is Anison, I believe that's how you pronounce it. Reading, who are 7th, have 1 win, 3 draws and 2 losses, and their manager is SNA Charisma. Interesting results there, just the 1 win there, but they seem to be quite hard to beat with the 3 draws and just 2 losses in the 6 games they've got. But the goal difference is exactly 0, so need a bit better in attack and a little bit more tight in defence, and they should be fine. Then we get to the relegation zone now, starting with Fulham, who are 8th. They've got 2 wins and 4 losses. That puts them on 6 points, and their manager is Brandon I6I. And then Wolves have 1 win, 1 draw, and 4 losses, which is managed by Wes. Their first win came on Thursday, which was the last game that they played. So maybe potentially could be looking up now, since their last game was a win. 10th in 10th place, right at the bottom of the championship, we've got Cardiff City, who have managed 1 win, 1 draw, and 4 losses, and their manager is Horrid82. So if we look at the team of the week for the championship, starting with the Any, which is Wes, who is the manager of Wolves. We've got a goalkeeper, I13I Gross I. Right back is I Got Toaster. The centre halves are Jamie I4I and Ghosty6. The left back is Lugelbinder. The DM is Ferguson I6I. The 2 centre mids are SSDD Graham and Newman I7I. The centre attack midfielder is XXKW Flames XX, and the 2 up top is Marley I69 and John Doble. On the bench for the championship, team of the week is Brad Widigas. I might have butchered that name. The defence is PL Nesta 13. Defence midfield is Cavalier, I think. The defence midfield is, I believe, Cavalier. The attack midfield is Kezi, and the striker is Bilby. Top of the League One, we've got Newcastle United, who are absolutely flying through the league at the moment with 6 wins and not a single draw or loss to their name. Their manager is Cutter the Kid, and their 6 wins puts them on 18 points. Very, very hard to beat, and very, very impressive up front with 19 goals scored and only 5 conceded in 6 games. But second place then, there's a massive 8-point difference between second and first. Second place is Wigan, which have managed 3 wins, 1 draw and 2 losses, which puts them on 10 points. Their manager is Billy Lee. Third place is Walsall, which they've managed 3 wins, 1 draw and 2 losses. That puts them on 10 points. Their manager is GBR Benji. Fourth place is Aston Villa, who have managed 2 wins, 3 draws and 1 loss, which puts them on 9 points. Their manager is Cam JJ22. Fifth place is Oxford United, who have managed 2 wins, 2 draws and 2 losses. That puts them on 8 points. Their manager is Thrasher BX. Sixth place is Charlton Athletic, which have managed 2 wins, 1 draw and 3 losses. That puts them on 7 points, and their manager is XX Lings XX. Then 7th place is Bradford City with 1 win, 4 draws and 1 loss, and that puts them on 7 points. Their manager is G Dennington. Then in the relegation zone, we've got Derby County on standing in 8th place. They have 2 wins, 1 draw and 3 losses, which puts them on 7 points as well. So their manager is I Red Aggressor. Then we've got 9th place Plymouth Argyle, 2 points, no draws and 4 losses, and that puts them on 6 points. Tim 88 is their manager. Okay, so that's it for the League One table. If we look at the team of the week for League One, we've got the Any is XX Lings XX. The goalkeeper is It's X Lewis 27. The right back is WKF X Skills. The centre backs are Flair Jokers and Spongy Max. The left back is Bays REFC. The DM is iKenner 007. The 2 centre mids are Heads or Tails 13 and King Northy. The centre attack midfielder is Classy N1 Rolo, and the 2 up top are Mighty JB14 and Dan CFC 79. On the bench for League One in the team of the week is the goalkeeper Grandpa Fergie. The defence is Young Mills 600. The DM is the 2-lettered gamer tag of GT. The attack midfielder is C001 Assassin, and the striker on the bench for League One team of the week is I Smithson I. So that's it for the roundup of the clubs after 6 games after last week, the first week of the FPC season. Just moving on to a few things now. Mainly the staff and media situation. We're currently looking for staff members and media members, anyone to do sort of like graphics. The plan is for the sort of the main page of the FPC website is to have it sort of similar to if you can imagine playing career mode on FIFA 18. I don't know if you play that at all, but where you've got the tabs that show like breaking news, rumours, stuff like that. It will show the team of the week there as well. So we want to have it similar to that. So any graphic designers out there, just contact Wes. You should have messages from Wes, even discussing the media team on the FPC website. Just reply to the message and get in contact with him, and just anything really, and any sort of graphics will help. Also, we were thinking of doing some. Also, next season we're actually doing a match of the day sort of program, like once a week. So it's going to be, hopefully, I mean, if people, we need obviously certain clubs to not necessarily upload clips, but sometimes you might ask them to upload the whole game. You know, if you can record the goals that are scored during the games, that would be ideal. We can get them on the show. But I'm not sure exactly how it's going to work, but we're hoping to have certain highlighted matches, like extended highlights. So if certain matches every day, so maybe 1 or 2 matches a week, will get so certain matches during the week will be featured. Will be a featured match for FPC, so the managers will be contacted just to arrange them streaming it and saving the stream, which we'll talk you through how to do that, and you know, it's very easy. So we'll get that done, and then we can get that onto the match of the day. And we're also looking for commentators, just people to host match of the day as well. Just anything at all. If you're willing to help out with the media in any way, just get in contact with Wes, and we'll see what happens. So that's it for the podcast this week. It's a bit short and a little bit less entertaining, because obviously it's just me doing it, because I made a mistake and I didn't record the full one. But nonetheless, I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, goodbye.
If you've lost all your games playing FPC, listen to this podcast. If you've lost all your games playing FPC, listen to this podcast.